This conference will now be recorded.
Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. So guys, with this video, I'm going to start a new series, and that is a SQL series, where we will learn about different queries with respect to different databases. So we will learn about what do you mean by SQL syntax, queries, and different interview questions, because a lot of people are asking about that. Okay, create this particular list on my channel so that uh, people are asking about SQL queries at a time of interview. So this series will help you a lot. So you don't need to learn too much or everything about SQL and databases, but at least for basic SQL queries, you should know what do you mean by CRUD operation, how to create a table, how to insert the data into a particular table, and then how to get the data, how to update the data, and different interview questions, SQL joins and everything. So I'll be preparing those videos in this particular series, and I hope this particular series will really help you. So this is nothing related to automation. It's all about your SQL knowledge. Same SQL knowledge you can do in, you can perform in manual testing as well as in your automation testing, and especially with backend testing when you are doing and you are checking that API response is coming correct or not. The same response you have to check in your database as well. So those things also you can verify if you have some knowledge on SQL, and at the time of interview as well, it will really help you a lot. Okay, so without wasting our time, let's start. Lot to know, lot to learn. So first of all, what do you mean by SQL? So guys, if you let me prepare, quickly give you one basic idea. SQL means structured query language. Okay, the full form of SQL is structured query language. This is a standard language, which is, I would say, SQL is the language which is sitting over here. Let's see. With this particular SQL language, whatever the Java code or whatever the application that you are defining, either it is .NET, Java, C Sharp, Python, or whatever kind of application from different platforms you are using, with the help of SQL, you can interact with databases. So we have different types of databases. We have Oracle, we have, let's see, MySQL Server, we have Microsoft Access, right? We have Excel files also. That is also a kind of database. We have Oracle databases, we have SQL servers, MySQL servers, right? Different types of databases are available. DB2 is available from IBM. So SQL is the main language which will interact with, okay, with all the databases. So this is a common structure language. It's not like for Java we will have a different version of SQL, or for C Sharp or Python we will have different version of SQL. No, this is the standard language for all the databases to interact with, and the same, through the same language we can interact with the different databases. So guys, this is very important to know, right? Because now it's a common, it can be used by QA guys, it can be used by dev guys, it can be used by manual and automation folks also, right? It can be used by your POs, managers, right? People who are doing data entry as well, people who are doing some support work, right? Especially customer care support is there, and customer is calling that, okay, hey, my email ID is not updated. So you should have at least basic knowledge on SQL. We will get into the system, we will update the data for that particular customer. So this is so widely used, okay, and this is applicable for all the SQL based database. There are separate databases like NoSQL databases like Cassandra, MongoDB. That's a different topic we will talk about maybe later. But whatever you can see, like different SQL based databases, we have Oracle, right? Have you heard about Oracle? Then we have MySQL Server, right? We have a SQL Server, right? We have DB2 is available. Then we have Microsoft Access also is there. So all these are the servers are available, guys, with respect to databases, SQL databases, and you need to learn whenever you need to get the data. So let's say I want to get the data. So which query you will perform? So you will perform select query. So this is means retrieve the data, right? You want to create the data. So that is called insert the data, right? So that is called insert query. It means C operation, right? Create the data. You want to update the data. So that is called update query, right? You want to delete the data. So this is called delete query. right? So ultimately, what exactly you are doing? You are doing CRUD operation, right? Create, retrieve, update, and delete with the help of SQL. It's not only a CRUD operation, you are designing the database system, you are designing how exactly my database will look like, how exactly it will store the data, and all those things. Let's see, I want to store the data for an employee. What kind of data you can, okay, employee ID, right? The name of the employee, the salary, right? Salary of the employee. What else? You can write his first name, last name, phone number, address, email ID, right? Everything. Email ID, his designation, right? Designation is US citizenship or not, something like this, right? So all these data you can store like this in a particular table. So I'll create one employee table where we can store different types of data, different type of employees I can store with certain rules. Then we will learn about what do you mean by primary key, foreign key, unique key, candidate key. Okay, a lot of other keys are available. What do you mean by foreign key constraint? What do you mean by null key constraint? All those things we will talk about it. So at least you should have some basic knowledge about it. Tomorrow, if I say that, okay, hey, give me all the records, from this particular employee table where employee name starts with Naveen, right? So you should do about it. So let's see, there's a product table. Quick, very good example I can give you how exactly we can use it in manual testing. Let's see, there is a product table, product name is there, product ID is available, who is the right seller for the for this particular product, and description about this particular product. I'm simple writing like this: description about this particular product. What is the price, color, like this. So all the product information I'll store over here. So let's see my product name. It can be anything. My product name may be Apple MacBook, and respective all the information I'll put it over here for Apple MacBook. What is the color, price, and everything. Same thing. Let's see. I'm writing for a Samsung S8, Samsung S8, the phone, and all the other properties, price, color, right? Everything I'll be writing over here, right? So I will perform. First, we will insert a data and huge amount of data because there are so many products. So I'll perform a query that, okay, give me all the products which are name, which name starting with Apple MacBook or Apple, or maybe the price range within, the price range should be less than 10K, right? Like this. So we have to sort out the data. We have to filter the data. In that case, guys, we have to use SQL queries, because the moment you are getting that, okay, the moment in Amazon.com, if you see that, right, on this particular Amazon.com, and there is a left panel section is there. This is called the filter section. You select that, okay, hey, this is my price range, this is my color range, this is the I want only white shoes or white color shoes or red color shoes, or I want only Nike or Adidas. So you are keep selecting, right? You are keep selecting these filters. So on the basis of these filters, internally APIs will get the data from the databases. API, we will call the APIs. API will hit the SQL queries, will get the data from databases, give it to the response to the API, and response will be shown in the form of JSON XMLs file, and it will be shown on the on the website, on the application. So guys, internally, if you see the architecture quickly, okay, so this is a web application. Inside this web application, we have, this is the API layer, and under that particular API layer, then we have the database is available. Right, so database will store the data in the form of rows and columns. Will give this particular data. Okay, so a web application will call this particular API that, okay, hey, give me all the products which are related to Apple. So the moment you write in the search bar on Amazon.com Apple MacBook, it will hit the API, and API will hit that, okay, give me all the data from this particular database, and data will be given back to this API response, and response will be given to this guy in the form of JSON and XML, and the UI guy will display that particular data like this. In between, there are other concepts we will talk about later on. Maybe what do you mean by caching? Okay, what are different cache servers are available? Caching, server caching, and all those things. We will talk about it. And this is about SQL databases. And this is, let's see, we can create one more database over here, NoSQL database for fast retrievals like MongoDB or Cassandra or something like this. Those are a different family altogether. But ultimately, this is your data layer, where exactly your data is available, the actual protection data. How many users are there in your Uber system? How many Ubers are there to store their information, to store their details, their history, their order history, their the ride history, everything, right? On Amazon, how exactly Amazon is maintaining my history of the records, history of the orders in database. So there is an order table will be there. You will get the data from order table that, okay, hey, give me all the details of Naveen. So where employee name or user name is equal to Naveen, where order, okay, ID is equal to this. So that's why we are able to get the data with respect to that order for Naveen, and then it will be displayed, okay, hey, last year or maybe last month I got this particular phone or laptop or whatever, right? So guys, to hit all these things, either you are doing manual testing or automation, or if you are a developer or a basic PO guy, manager, whatever, or data entry, or you are into data science, machine learning and everything, you should know about your SQL. You should be really good in SQL, right? And it's very easy language. Good thing is it's nothing specific to Java, .NET, or any specific to other environments. It's having its own structured query language, and all the programming languages, they have given their APIs, okay, according to the SQL. Got it? Perfect. So this is the basic overview. What do you mean by SQL? What do you mean by the databases, and how exactly it will store the data and everything? It's a huge topic, guys. It's like there are so many things. DBA and the database administrator and all those things are, it can be used in DevOps, testing, development, anywhere. Okay, cool. So let's start with the basic things. What I'm gonna tell you today, that you don't need to install any SQL or MySQL server on your system. What you need to do, that you can practice online, because these are the very heavy clients. If you download actually Oracle client and you're maintaining a basic database over here in your system, then you have to download SQL developers or maybe Toad or such kind of clients you have to download. So to avoid those things unnecessary, better there are a lot of online communities are there. My preference is always you just go with this jdoodle.com, where you can practice over here, okay, with your SQL queries with any kind of languages over there. So their interface is very simple, very clear, and they support most of the databases. So here you can come over here. You do one thing, you can do a sign in. You just click on sign in, and you sign in with Google. Okay, sign in with, let's see, Google, and I'll take my maybe some other account. I can take it. Okay, so I have already logged in this particular system. Maybe you can create your account, you can register your account over there, and then you can log in later on. I'll tell you how can you create your project, save the projects. So you will maintain all the SQL queries over here only, right? So let's start. So these are the examples code. You just remove it, we don't need them. So I'll do one thing, that first you need to understand how to create a table, because ultimately what we need to create a table, right? We need to create a table like this, that we need to decide what kind of data, what kind of table it is. So let's see, this is my table. In this particular table, I need some information. So table means collection of your data in the form of rows and columns. So number of rows will be there, right, like this, and number of columns will be there. So you need to decide what first. You need to decide that how many columns will be there, and later on we will keep adding, right, the number of rows, just like an Excel file. Excel file is also itself is a database actually. So I'll keep, so my, what is my constant value over here? Column names are the constant things, and this is dynamic. Number of rows are dynamic in nature, right? So let's see, I'm going to create one employee table in which in which I'll insert the data for different employees. So first we need to decide the schema, what kind of data, what kind of table schema. So two things, guys, you need to remember whenever you are creating a table. So you need to create database DB table schema. Schema means what kind of data it will be, how many columns will be there, what kind of data type you can define, what is the table name and everything. Okay, so then you will write your column data types you will define, right? So how to do that? So to do this thing, we need to decide the database table schema. So we have one query that is called create command is there. Simple, right? Create table keyword, and here it doesn't matter you are writing small letter or capital letter. It's not that case sensitive. So just write your table name. Let's say my table name is employee table, and then you start the bracket like this, okay, and end the bracket like this, okay. So employee table is there, and in this particular employee table, what kind of data you want to enter. So you just need to define the different columns over here. So let's say my column name will be employee ID, and employee ID will be what? It will be varchar. Varchar means any kind of numeric data, alphanumeric data, string values you can store. So varchar is a data type, just like we have a string data type and integer data type. In database, in SQL, we have varchar. Okay, this is the thing. Varchar is there. Under this particular varchar, you can define that, okay, 255 is the range you can define over here like this. Okay, after that, let's see what else you want. Employee name. What is the name of the employee? Name of the employee also will be in varchar. So varchar is very popular whenever you want to store any alphanumeric data or only string data or only alpha data or only the alphabets. You can use varchar. So let's see, I'm writing 255. Okay, 255 is the range actually. I'll tell you later about what do you mean by varchar and varchar 255. You just need to understand one basic thing: the structure, how to create first. Salary. Let's see. Instead of salary, let's see, first I'll write age. Age will be is integer, so you just need to write int over here. Age will be an integer, and let's see, I'm writing right phone number. Okay, let's see, phone number, age, I'm writing capital A. I'm just maintaining my following my own naming convention. Phone number will be again will be an integer, and let's see the address, right? Let's see the email ID first. I'll write email ID will be in varchar. Okay, and one last thing we will add. Let's see, I'm writing address varchar 255 like this. Okay, and once this is done, yeah, this is how we create the table and then semicolon, right? So this particular table will be created. So only table will be created, not the data. Okay, so if you just execute this and let's see it is working or not. So it's giving you no output. Why? Because the table got created, and without any error means the table is perfectly fine, right? Okay, now we will do one thing. We have to insert the data. So table is there. I mean, this particular structure will be created. We just need to keep inserting the data over here, right? Okay, like this, row number 1, row number 2, row number 3, different employees data we can insert over here. Okay, so let's do. So how to insert the data? So you just need to write insert query. Insert where? Into, in which table? So what is your table name? My table name is employee table, and you need to write one keyword, values, and what kind of values you want to store, right? So insert into values, and then you have to start the values like this, comma separated. What is my employee ID? So let's see, my first employee ID is this, right? 1. And employee name. So employee name will be in, let's see, is a varchar kind of a string. So let's see, employee is Tom. Okay, Tom is there. After that, what is the age? Age is 25. Okay, and then phone number is also integer. So let's see, the phone number is 9890090. Okay, this is the phone number. What is the email ID? Email ID is this. Let's see, tom@gmail.com. And what is the address? So address in, again, let's see, I'm writing 1 comma Hollywood, okay, Avenue, LA. Okay, something like this. Perfect. And this is your address. And then semicolon. So you do one thing, you just select this particular query and then execute it, and you will see that data got inserted. But obviously we are not printing anything, and it's not we are not getting anything, so Without any error means the data got created. And quickly, we will verify that data got created or not inside this table. So for this, we need to use, so create means create the table. Insert means you are creating the data, right? You are inserting the data. Then we have to get the data. We have to use select query. So select, you simple write the star from where? From employee table. So a star means give me all the data, whatever the total number of rows are there, give me total number of rows from this particular table. So select star from employee table. Okay. So employee table is capital E, so you have to write capital E over here, guys. And then if you run it, let's see. Can you see that? Pipe separated, we are getting the data. 1, Tom, 25, this, gmail.com, Hollywood Avenue, LA. Like this. And then I want to check how many rows are there. I'm not bothered about the data. I just want to check how many rows are there. So simple write select count star, you need to write like this. Select count star from employee table. And then you simple run it, and then you will see it's saying total number of rows are 1. Can you see that? 1 row. Simple. Now I'll do one thing. I'll create more data. Let's see, around 3-4 employees I'll create. So employee ID will be, let's see, 2, employee ID 3. Now this is the second guy, the Steve. Steve is 35, and the third guy is let's see, Peter. Peter is around 45, and I'll just change their name. Okay, Steve at gmail.com, Peter at gmail.com, and this guy is in 20. Something like this. I'm writing. Okay. Something like this. 94. Let's see. 2nd Street, LA. Okay, and not in LA. Let's see, San Francisco, SFO. And the third guy is somewhere in Villa House. Okay, in different. Let's see, 7th Street, New York City. Something like this, randomly. Okay, and then I'll execute this, and let's see. So this time I should get 3 rows. So from select star from employee, I'm getting 3. Okay, 3 rows data, and total count I'm getting 3. Right, guys? So total count I'm getting 3. So this is how we have to insert the data. Make sure that, okay, whatever the data sequence, the same sequence you have to maintain over there, and the same data type also you have to maintain over there. Okay, now what I'm going to do that I can filter it out. So let's see, the data, total data is 3. I can write something like this: select star from select star from where? From employee table, where keyword you can filter it out later on, where what? Where employee name is equal to Tom. Okay, so select star from employee table where employee name is equal to Tom. So simple, run it. It should give you only Tom related data. Okay, guys. So let's see. Let me do one thing. Let me comment it out. You can press. Okay, just a minute. You can comment it out how. Select this and press Control forward slash. So it will be commented out with like this. 2 hyphen. You have to write it, and then you execute it again. You will get only the details about Tom. Perfect. So this is how we get it about the information from Tom for this particular table. Right. So let's see. I'm writing now. Select star from employee table where employee name is equal to Naveen. Obviously, Naveen is not there. Right. So employee name is equal to Naveen. Naveen is not there, and then if you execute it, you are getting nothing for name equal to Naveen. So it will not give you error. You will not get nothing. Total number of rows are nothing, 0. Right. Same thing. I can write 2 filters also. Let's see, employee name is equal to Tom, and or let's see, employee name is equal to Peter, and age is equal to 45, right? Age is equal to 45. Let's see, there are two Peters, right? So I'll do one thing. I'll create one more Peter over here, and the employee ID is, might be possible because there are two Peters, then employee name can be common, right? And this guy is around 55, and the phone number is something like this, right? I'll make some unique phone number for every guy, right? And this is Peter, let's see, D'Souza.com, and this is Peter Parker@gmail.com, right? So what I'm looking for an employee name is equal to Peter and age equal to 45, the 45-year-old guy. So let's see, I'm getting or not. So here you are getting Tom. Okay, the let me once. Okay, let's run it again once because we have to execute this also. Now we are getting this one Tom. We have written this. Okay, 1 second. Capital P we have to write. See, Peter is capital P. So now let's run it again. Now we are getting properly. See, the third row we are getting this row, right? Employee ID is 3, Peter, 45, age, this guy we are getting. Okay, guys. So this is how you can write different AND operator or operators also, like this. Okay. So let's see. I'm writing one query with OR operator. Select star from employee where employee. Okay. So let's see. I'm writing where age is equal to 25, or let's see, I'm writing age is greater than 25, something like this. So let's see, with age is equal to greater than 25, and what I'm getting. So I'll get only those people who are having age is equal greater than equal to 25. So if you see the first row, Tom is not getting printed over here. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me comment it out just to avoid the confusion, right? And then execute only third query. So you will get only last three guys, not the Tom. See, I'm not getting the output for Tom, right? So let me better, right, guys? So this is how, let me zoom out. Yeah, so this is how we can write the query with greater than, less than, equal to, or something like this. So let's say I'm writing age is greater than 25 and employee ID or employee name is equal to Peter, right? So then if you run it, you will get both the Peters, because both the Peters having the name is equal to Peter and both the Peters are greater than 45. Like this also you can write it. Make sense? Same thing you can apply with OR operator. Means OR means either of them, right? And means both of them, like this. Okay, so you can write it like this, right? So remember this count function. Count function is always will be used to get the total number of counts from the table, right? How many total number of rows are available. So this is about the right select, basic select query. It's very simple, very straightforward. You just create the employee name, I mean the table name, department table, product table, employee, user table, whatever, insert the data, and you can play with the queries with SQL. Okay, with select queries you can play with that. And other examples, I'll tell you what do you mean by. Okay, so this is okay. One more thing I'll cover. Let's see, I'm gonna give you select distinct keyword. Distinct keyword means only the distinct values. Distinct means it will just avoid the duplicate values. It will give you only and only the unique values, right? So let's see. I'm gonna give you one example. Okay, so let's see this. I'll create one more data, and let's see employee number 3. Okay, employee number 2, and exact. Okay, exact data. Steve and Steve, exact duplicate data, right? So somehow I inserted the duplicate data, and I'll do one thing. Let me comment it out and then uncomment this select star from employee. So if you run it, select star from employee, we will get how many rows? We will get 3 plus 2, 5 rows, right? And if you see one thing, that the data for Steve and this Steve is exactly common, exactly duplicate data. So I want to avoid this duplicate data. So how to use it, right? So how to use it? So what I'm going to do that first I'll tell you how to get select simple right. Okay, select simple distinct. Okay, distinct, no spelling mistake, and select distinct simple right star from employee table. And let me comment this line and let's start it and let's see. It's saying, okay, I'll do one thing. 1 second. Okay, 1 second, guys. Select distinct and let me check this is correct or not. Yeah. So you don't need to write the bracket. Simple right. Select distinct start from employee. So here instead of 5, you are getting only 4. So now you can see that okay, Steve only getting printed once. So distinct means give me the unique data and avoid the duplicate values, right? So this is how we can use a distinct keyword. And let me show you one more thing. Let's see. Select distinct count star from employee. Now let's see what exactly it's saying. It's giving you 5. So fine. 3 plus 2, 5. So select distinct count is coming 5. Let me check. Okay, and if you run this, select count star from employee. In both the cases, we are getting 5. So my question is, my target is that I have to avoid the distinct. I mean, I should get for distinct count from employee. It should be 4 because it should give me the distinct count. It means it should give me the total count 4. It should avoid the duplicate values. So how to do that? So in that case, what you need to do, guys? 1 second.
This conference will now be recorded.
So what do you need to do, guys? Okay, for distinct, this is you just need to remember one thing. Simple, right? Select count bracket, and you need to write distinct keyword. So distinct, and on which column you want to apply. So I want to apply, let's see, on employee ID, right? Because 2 employee IDs are common, 2 and 2. So what I'm going to do, simple write employee ID and like this. So you just need to remember the syntax, guys. So now for this guy, we are total count, we are getting 5, but on employee ID, the moment you apply the distinct keyword, right, it will give you total number of count is 4, like this, right? So like this, you have to start. Let me check with distinct star is working or not. No, this is not allowed. So in my SQL server, it is not allowed. So you just need to write the column value, the column name actually. So let's see, I want to check, I want to apply on employee name. So this is also interesting. See, uh, Steve, Steve is common. Peter is also common. So it will take 1, 2, and 3. So ideally, the count should be 3 now. It means the distinct will be applied on employee name. It will give me only those employees which are unique names, which are having the unique. I mean, it will just avoid the duplicate names. So Steve is coming 2 times. It will be written with 1, and Peter is coming. Okay, also coming with 2 times. So it will be written with 1. So total number of count will be 3 actually. So you can apply on any specific column like this, and you can apply select distinct from employee. So if you run it, select distinct from employee, it will give you total number of unique rows, and count will give you total number of count, actually the size of total number of rows. Okay guys, so This is all about, I think for the first session, it's too much. Okay, maybe you can practice, you can log in on this jdoodle.com, and we will, I'll cover some more interesting things later. Okay, about the primary key and about more keywords and arithmetic operations and mathematical operations. Okay, and different kind of functions are available. Some basic things we will cover. It's very simple, very straightforward. You should know the right syntax, and that's it. And it will come only along with your practice. Okay, but it's not a daily routine activities that okay, daily basis you have to write the SQL queries. But it depends. Generally, I don't write, for me personally. If you see, if you ask about me, even I don't write SQL queries daily. But I mean, it's a very common thing. You should know, okay, what is the basic concept and different keywords are there. Okay, so that's all for SQL part 1. I'll be uploading more videos on the same topic, I mean on the same series with different topics. So thanks for watching Naveen Automation Labs, guys, and keep watching it.